Hey, I'm Seth Feinberg, managing editor of Accounting Web. So we are here representing our uh, project, the realities of the automated practice at Scaling New Heights in Atlanta, Georgia, hosted by Woodard Events. So lots of accountants down here, bookkeeping professionals, looking at the latest and greatest solutions to integrate with things that they have. Um, Part of our project is really shining a light on the fact that automation is not automated, and one of the issues that firms run into is, maybe not proper planning, and there's a lot of blockers to just more firms not automating. So I'm here with Brandon from Boxstorm. They are a fishbowl solution. So if you're in the QuickBooks universe, you do inventory, you should know who Fishbowl is. Brandon, in your experience, what are the biggest blockers to automation, as it relates to accounting firms?
I think honestly, it's the fear of change. In my experience with being a
Plain old fear.
just the fear of change, and there's always someone in the company that's not behind it, and so getting the company behind it. There's always like one person that comes in and says, "We got to change this," and then there's a lot of people who say, "Well, we've been doing this for 10 years, so why do we need to change this now?" And so I think that's one of the biggest barriers I have seen is people just afraid of change and maybe afraid that some of this automation might make their job redundant or maybe it'll replace them. I think that's just like a inherently human fear that people have is like, well, if I get this thing that will make me that much easier to manage my inventory, then what do I? Maybe they don't need me and all these other employees that have been doing that. Like you could say, you could either you either throw more labor at the problem or you could throw software at the problem. So I think that's just a fear that a lot of people have is just a fear of change. That's probably one of the greatest barriers I've seen. The other one being expense. A lot of these things don't come cheap. So they're just afraid that hey, this is a $15,000 solution, and then we may not think of everything up front that we need this to do for us. So then after a year of using it, you're like, oh well, we really need this, and we didn't think about it ahead of time. So getting everyone on the same page and understanding what the things are that you need. And that's what we do have at Boxstorm, where we have a free version that is just, it's like better for, it's like we're trying to get you stopping using spreadsheets. So that's what we're there for. But I think the greatest barriers are those things. So
Brandon, thanks for coming by the booth.